Hello and welcome to the very first clearing video that I'm going to post to my channel. I've just completed the preliminary phase of the work, which is called prepped work. It's where we clear everything that's available to be worked with in the energy field that we don't need to bring to the conscious realm. We're clearing all those blocks. We're setting up some energetic boundaries, closing openings to other dimensions. I'm just looking at my prep to work list that I work from. It's not in my head. So, we're welcoming in all the support beings who are here. All these beings, like our spiritual crew, guardian angels, committee members. I work with some different spirit guides in the form of animals. I have beings from my own ancestry that I invite to be present to help hold the space and support this healing work. So we invite all the beings that want to be present to support the work, from love. Nobody here to muck it up. And then we're updating our spiritual crews, educating them, elevating them. Anybody who is not on board with this, we're asking that they be replaced. Or cleared to the point that they can participate in a generative, supportive way. And we're setting our intention. So today's intention, sorry, I just jiggled the table with my knee. Today's intention is to clear the energy, the programs, clear everything available that is keeping us bound in loyalty to suffering alongside others in order to validate their pain. We have this rule, I feel like it's an unspoken rule, where in order to validate someone else's experience of pain, we jump into it. So we're actively enmeshing ourselves with the felt experience of others and claiming its compassion. And I'm here to shed a little light on the notion that if that is the way we're going about enacting compassion, and I did this for the vast majority of my life because this is how, this is how the people closest to me when I was young trained me in. And it's not because they were malicious or, out to set me up. It's just because this is the way in which my family taught all of us, right, through the generations. This is how we do it. This is how we care about one another. Listen, bullshit. I'm just going to call bullshit on it now that I know better. And I know that that's actually really destructive to the relational field and does not support a depth of connection. Being able to stay home energetically, right? Stay home with our own energy field and not have our tentacles going out into somebody else's and acting self-righteous because we are participating in their pain. What we're doing is we're holding the frequency of that experience now in our bodies as well. So what are we doing? We're amplifying the pain and we're amplifying the suffering because now there's not just one person holding suffering in their field. Now there's two or however many we've got on board with this business. And so we want to release that program from the field. And program is a false belief system, right? There's lots of different words, and ultimately they all kind of fall into the same category of things that aren't actually true, but we have believed them to be true, and we have lived our lives as if they're true. And they're oftentimes so intimate and close to us that we just don't have the ability to see them because it's what we've known. We need just a sliver, that little toe in the door of awareness to say I can actually see it now. I was living inside of it before. It's like the fish in the fishbowl, the fish in the water, right? Fish doesn't know it's in water. It's just that's the environment. The person in the air. I don't realize all these different types of molecules in the air. It's just what I live in. So we are wanting to generate enough awareness that we can consciously engage with new patterns or new thought processes, even if it's on the backside, we catch ourselves, we jumped into the suffering, let me bring this back. I want to sit here with you and be with you while you are having your experience. I love you so much. And my work is heavily influenced from Bert Hellinger's family constellation therapy. And in that work, it is to be in right relationship with another, to maintain a boundary between yourself and their pain and their suffering. It is there for them, right? So they can alchemize their experience of what it is to be human, so they can transmute energy. We are so flippin' powerful, you know. We each of us have this capacity and have this potential. So it is like, because I love you. This is from a very high self state of love. It's because I love you so much that I'm going to let you sit with all that's yours. It's really important to begin to wrap our heads around this experience, because we have so much trauma in the relational field that we are constantly being held in suspension at the surface. And to start to release some of these ways in which we are separated from the divine essence of who we are, to bring ourselves back into connection with the aspects of ourselves that I don't want to say we were taught, but we learned it. We weren't explicitly taught it, but we learned to partition ourselves off from certain parts of ourselves as if those weren't lovable, those weren't accepted, those are not of value, they have no worth. And we are in the recovery and reclamation process of our wholeness, because it's only in that state that we can really be loving and compassionate beings. Everything else is just enacting trauma, which is creating more pain and more suffering. So you can see I get a little excited about this. Let's just jump into the clearing, yeah? So taking responsibility for your own well-being. If you are sitting down to experience this, listen to this, know that I invite you to take full responsibility for yourself. So you can watch me as I do the work. It's gonna be flipping in the pages and in the charts. You can lay down and just have headphones in and listen. This type of work, we're working in a different brainwave frequency, a brainwave state, because we're working in the subconscious field. And oftentimes, if this is not a practice that you do regularly, or if you don't have a regular meditation practice, this work can make you quite drowsy. It's really temporary, but it's just nervous system adaptations. So you can get my eyelids have gotten heavy. I sometimes still yawn while I'm facilitating clearings. And just if you feel the need to yawn or move your body, we hold we're hardwired around these programs and these beliefs. So if you feel the need to just gentle movement, or be walking and listening, or yawning, or stretching your jaw, turning your head side to side, orienting yourself to this moment, because we're processing out all this old stuff. Guess who's showing up? My cat. Yubi, did you know we were doing some clearing? Oh, he always knows. This big fluffy orange and white cat that will probably at some point reveal himself. Where was I? Orienting you to what the experience might be like. So just know that this is very normal, very typical. And as your system, body, energy field all get acclimated to this process, you will find that you're not necessarily tired in the same way. So with our intention in mind, Spirit, we're going to go ahead and ask you, where are we going to be starting in terms of clearing? So we're going to go to the SRT charts. And where will we start? On chart 2. Chart 2 is titled Themes and Qualities, or Themes and Challenges and Soul Qualities. So we're working with the soul quality of understanding and love. Are there blocks? Yes. Are they Programs, yes, we're on chart 4, yes. What type of programs? Inheritance programs. So look at inheritance programs. These are ones that are either inherited through our past life experiences that we bring in with us, or they're inherited through our biological ancestry. So, of course, like our DNA holds the information of both types of lineages. So inheritance programs often are seen as repeated patterns of behavior generation after generation after generation. If you're anything like me, you'll totally identify with the identification with suffering as love. Like, just the way it is. It's kind of the way we have, been societally and culturally indoctrinated. Think about the fact that, like, as the egg, we were in our mothers, and when our mothers were gestating within the bodies of our grandmothers, and the emotional experiences our grandmothers were having, like, primed the field for our mothers. And if our mothers were holding us, we are imprinted with that as well. So you can see how multifaceted the aspects of inheritance when it comes to these energetic patterns are. And if you want to, and if I like to throw books out there because I'm a book junkie, but there is a book called It Didn't Start With You by Mark Wolynn, Wolynn, that really it speaks to, there's a lot of exercises in it, but what I really love about this is that it speaks to the science, the emerging science that shows us how there are biological markers of inherited emotional traumas, right? Emotion and traumas being that separation wound, right? So where we have separated from ourselves, where, like we've been believing the external narrative, we've taken it in as if that is the truth. And it separates us from the essence of who we are. It's like the roadblock. There's a barricade on the road. We can't get through to the essence of who we are. Okay, so how many digits worth of programs? 9, 3, 6, 3. Good work, everybody. I'm glad. Oh, and by the way, welcome to everybody who's not here yet, but you're all here. This is like the beauty of this work, is that I get to work with all of you, even though none of you are in this circle yet. You are actually all here, right? And regardless, no time, space, distance. It's just like my favorite place to do this work from. The most significant was established in a past life. Do we need to do any further research? What are the discordant energies anchoring these programs? Frustration, forsaken, toxic shame. Which I kind of feel like all the shame is toxic, right? Shame being held in the pain body is a really dense and heavy energy. It requires a lot of resource to maintain that in our field. So that's always like a really nice release. So blocks to positive expression. So we're looking at the discordant energies are a lot like concrete blocks that build a wall. So I look at them like the programs are the wall, the discordant energies are the concrete blocks that build them. And then once the wall is clear, or say like it's a dam, we've poured these different sections of the dam, and then once we break the dam, the water, which is these positive expressions, is free to flow more readily to us. So the blocks of positive expression, wholeness, responsibility, and hope. Anything else? Okay, Spirit, can you please clear through all layers, levels, lifetimes, cellular memory, DNA, all bodies, all minds, all realms known and unknown. These programs that are blocking the highest expression and most fulfilling experience of understanding and love. Please clear all discordant energies, revealed, not revealed, and hidden, as they are anchoring these programs, and clear addictions, double addictions, promises, vows, contracts, agreements, vows, commitments, entanglements, enmeshments, and loyalties to any and all beings involved with these programs. And let us not forget to clear for all the other beings where these energies are being anchored. All beings involved with the establishment, perpetuation, maintenance, and re-energization of these programs. So I have a thing to say about responsibility while the clearing is taking place. And I feel like, again, there are two very separate definitions of these words. Responsibility, as I learned it as a child, means like you show up to work on time, you do what you say you're going to do, you follow through, right? Like it's obligational responsibility. This kind of responsibility is about being oriented with integrity to your soul contract, to the thing that you came to incarnate into this world, to learn, to experience, to to heal, right? And so we need to get in integrity with that responsibility, because any other contract or responsibility we attempt to enter into without integrity in the field prior is, I want to say, there's a great likelihood that it will become null and void once you come into contact with this more foundational type of responsibility. So I really love getting to talk about that one. We're 100% clear. Are there other blocks to understanding and love? There are. Are they programs? No. Are they heart walls? Yes. And which heart wall chart will we be using? So there's a modality called emotion code that works with heart walls. And heart walls are similar to programs, and the emotions are similar to the building blocks. And in emotion code, they talk about how these form around different organs. Like we hold the specific energies of unprocessed emotions around organs. So, ultimately this leads to deteriorating function and overall just lack of well-being. So we're going to go ahead and see what emotions are anchoring this. Failure, hopelessness, discouragement, self-abuse, abandonment, betrayal, forlorn, love unreceived, effort unreceived, vulnerability, nervousness, and worry. Okay, Spirit, can you clear? Please clear through all layers, levels, lifetimes, cellular memory, DNA, all minds, all bodies, all realms. The dog is shaking and itching. We want to go ahead and clear for all beings involved with the creation, maintenance, perpetuation, and re-energization of this heart wall. So want to be very thorough in the clearing of that, and clear for any addictions, double addictions, vows, promises, contracts, agreements, commitments, entanglements, enmeshments, and loyalties to those beings as well. Let's just go ahead and be nice and thorough about clearing through the field. It's a nice moment to take a breath. Don't need to control the breath, maybe even just witness yourself breathing, orienting to the present. Because this is all really big stuff. We've been carrying it with us for generations. So, very proud of you for showing up. And it seems so simple, right? Like there's this pendulum and there's these charts, but like this is incredibly courageous work, because the integration of this work means you're willing to live from a space, a place that is unknown to you currently. And that is a very courageous act. There are so many people who are just not comfortable in the realm of the unknown, right? So this is exceptional. Anything else? Can we do a little mop up? All right, Spirit, let's go ahead and do a little mop up. I've been a little enthusiastic about talking on this one rather than clearing, so I'll try to get better about that. These first ones, introducing the work, I want to make sure that, we're establishing some familiarity with the process. So future clearings, as we go along, future clearings will, I think, get less wordy and more clearing. So with mop up, it's much like the prep to work. We're just clearing all this. There's so much material that's being cleared from the collective, Everything, it's in the prep to work, that everything is dissolved back into pure nothingness to be recycled into love. And we're just like clearing all the stuff that is available thanks to the work we did to bring things into the conscious field. All right, Spirit. Thank you for that. And just a note on integrating this healing. So start to stretch your ability to gain awareness. Catch yourself, even if it's on the backside, of jumping into somebody else's pain and discomfort, jumping into wanting to fix something for somebody, jumping in as if what they are feeling is wrong, it's not okay, right? Because compassion is being a witness to things as they happen and having a depth of acceptance that everything is as it should be. Everything's in movement. It's not that you're saying like it's like this and it needs to stay like this forever. It's like this. There's a purpose that's beyond what I know, but I have a deep trust in its nature. All right, this is going to be fun. Thank you for being here, and take the best care of yourself, and we'll get together again soon.